Hello and welcome back to episode 32. Last episode we ended with a high note, but we had a pretty poor episode results-wise. I'm hoping to turn that around in this one with plenty of races, starting with the Boucle de l'On Châtelain. As you can see here, I added the team. There was a suggestion to add the team, so I have added that here to the list. Hoping to score points here with Noah Isidora, our French rider who has been on a roll. Paul Fietske as a backup as well. Next up, we have the Tour de Finestre. Again, a one-day race, very, very hilly. Hoping again that Noah Isidora will be the rider here to prove his skills, the puncher, the hill rider, the one in form, hoping for him to do well. Next up, we have a 3-day course here in Portugal. Again, the same riders as the previous stage. Very, very hilly, very mountainous. So I'm bringing a lot of the mountain rider and hill riders here in the team. Hoping, obviously, for them to perform here. Baptiste Grégoire, a French rider who has been a little bit disappointing. And Jaewon Jun, a Korean rider here in these mountains. Hoping they get good results. Next up, we have Rondom Kolen. A more flat race that will definitely end up in a sprint, hoping here, once again, bringing Noah Isidora. He is very well used here in this race, but a race definitely for Paul Fietske in this German race. His home race here with plenty of hills and a flat finish. I'm sure he'll survive those hills and do a good sprint there towards the end, hoping to get another victory here with one of these riders. Then we have another 1.1 race here with Veenendaal. Last year we had a third place here with Severy Sabakovsky. And as you can see here, bringing once again all the sprinters that we can, hoping to get a better result here with Severy or with one of our other sprinters. Looking good here for this race, so hoping for another good result. In Belgium, finally, for another 1.1 race. Again, we keep on with these very difficult Belgium races. A flat stage, so you see I'm bringing all of the sprinters here, hoping for a good result with Christophe Krol or Severy Sabakovsky. Plenty of cobbles there, however, so it will be a very tricky one, hoping to survive it and sprint towards a victory. And last but certainly not least, it is the Mercantour Classic Alpes Maritimes, a very mountainous stage here, a 1.1 stage, bringing all of our mountain riders once again, hoping for them to perform. This gear, basically the full entire A team here in the mountains. Let's see what result we can get here, hopefully a good one. Now let's start it off here with this very hilly French stage. A lot of chances here for us. Let's see how we'll perform. Here we are at the start of this very tricky French race. Again, a lot of hills here. Bring a lot of riders that should be good in this style of race. With Paul Fietske here in this race with a +2, +3 for Noah Isidora. Our statistics today are very, very strong. The mountain rider Huan Junjae not looking as good, however, so I'm hoping that he will do a good job defending the other riders. Adrien Vial, much more of a sprinter, but it is a French race, so I kind of wanted to bring him here and see how he will do here in this hilly terrain. Hoping that one of the riders here, preferably Noah Isidora or Paul Fietske, can perform in this race. They are our designated riders here for this race. We'll sit back here in the peloton. No chance for us in the breakaway. No real choice or no real chance for us to do a good result there. So we'll sit in the peloton, defend our riders, and you join us here now with a bit over 8 kilometers to go. There's a bit of a breakaway ahead, but still plenty of mountainous section to catch up on those riders. But we need to push on and make it difficult for the peloton, make it difficult for the other riders. You see actually the peloton splitting apart here. 9 riders remaining in this group. 4 of them actually are ours, so we are looking in a very strong position here in this race, trying to get over this hill as quickly as possible. Some riders catching back on towards the end of the group, then falling off once again while we try and get into this descent. Still 20 seconds ahead of us is the breakaway. There's still a very tricky final section coming up, so I'm just going to keep pushing on here with our rider, hoping that they will slow down in front. Hopefully they will fight amongst each other, not wanting to cooperate, while we put on full gas here towards this finish line. We do catch on a couple of these riders, another couple of riders trying to sprint away for the attack here. Still over a kilometer remaining, and we do a final sprint here. One rider up front here. Can we catch up to this final rider here just before he gets towards the finish line? It's not looking at it, but it is. It is looking like it. Paul Fietske getting closer and closer here towards the finish line, but no, sadly unable to catch up towards the rider in front. A second place here for Paul Fietske. An incredible result, to be honest, here by our German rider. It almost looked like he was going to catch up here with the rider up front, but just barely gets across this line as second. A little bit of a disappointing result here by Noah Isidore, who was in the wheel of Paul Fietske. Was hoping for him to sprint past the wheel here and get in a better result, but a 7th place here for him in this 1.1 race. Still something that we should be happy with, especially looking at the previous episode where we did much worse results-wise. So a 7th place here for Noah Isidore, an 11th place for Joseph Turnbull as well. Great job here by our British rider, and a 2nd place here for Paul Fietske. So really good job here by the team. Owen Cole also ending up in 14th, so 4 riders in a top 15 position. Not a bad start here in the 32nd episode of our pro cycling career. On towards the 2nd stage here in the Tour de Finestre. Again, very hilly here with an uphill finish. Should be perfect for Noah Isidore.
The route is fairly hilly, so there should be plenty of action.
And plenty of action is promised up ahead. The statistics on our riders not super great here. The rider of today, Noah Isidore, who I was really betting on with a -2, so not as strong as in the previous race. That does not promise a good result here for us, and that means we will sit in the peloton once again, try to survive towards the end, try to save as much energy as possible, and make sure that we keep up in the peloton, make sure that we can do a good final sprint here up this hill. The final is fitting for Noah Isidore, so I'm hoping that it will be a good result here for the team. But with these statistics, I am unsure if we will be able to deliver that result. Baptiste Grégoire looking very strong with a +3 today. One of the only riders here looking really good. Owen Cole as well. But, you know, we just need to survive towards the end, towards that finish line. 2 of our riders already done with the pull. As you can see here, we have our sprint train up top trying to make it as difficult for the peloton as possible. And you see how difficult it is here for these riders. Still over 7 kilometers to go, and most of our riders are already out of energy. I'm trying to make sure that we keep as many riders for this final section of the race as we possibly can. Joseph Turnbull absolutely exhausted in this downhill section now, hoping that he can regain a smidge of energy. Any bit of energy will help him here in this race. The energy gels are being used slowly but surely, trying to edge closer towards that finish line, making sure that we get across with a good result. That is what we are hoping for. A 2nd place already by Paul Fietske in the previous race. Maybe we can improve it. It is not looking like it statistics wise, but we are doing a pretty good job here in this lead out train. The rest of the peloton is suffering, as you can see. A bit of a downhill section here, and then we end up uphill for that finish line, trying to sprint a little bit early to gain some distance here on the peloton. We are looking really strong here. Look at that gap. We actually managed to get a gap here on the peloton. This uphill sprint in our favor thanks to that little gap. And Noah Isidore with his minus statistics getting a 1st place. An incredible position actually also by Baptiste Grégoire. What a move here by our 2 French riders into this very difficult French hilly race of 1 and 2 here for the team. What an unexpected result. Baptiste Grégoire, honestly, who hasn't been doing super great in this team, getting some fantastic results here. A 2nd place is incredible by our French rider, who has been underperforming in the mountains and in the hills, but finally showing that he can also get good results here, where Noah Isidore sprints to another victory. A great job here by our 2 French riders. And we are, of course, 1st in the team classification as well, getting the trophy for that too. What an incredible start of this episode. Obviously, we want to get these victories, we want to score those points, but getting a 2nd place in the previous one and getting a win here in this 2nd stage is absolutely incredible here for us today. And here you can see the stage results. 1st place by Noah Isidore, great job by him. Baptiste Grégoire, honestly, or Grégoire Baptiste, or Baptiste Grégoire, yes. I'm very surprised here by him getting that 2nd place. Owen Cole also finishing in 7th. That attack by Owen Cole in the last kilometer, making sure that we got that gap in that downhill section, making sure that we sprint basically very safely towards that finish line, getting a 1 and 2 here with the team. Incredible result. Now on to the Rund Kolen, a very flat race with some cobble sections here and there, hoping that Paul Fietske, who, as you can see, does not have the best fitness, can deliver a good result.
It's a difficult race with several cobbled sections. The brakes will be severely tested.
And once again, not the best statistics for us today here, as most of the team has a minus statistics. Florian Carpentier, the only rider in our team, looking pretty strong here today. Not looking good once again here for us, as we are slowly but surely getting our way back into that winning streak. Noah Isidore, our French signee, doing very, very well here, showing once again why we signed him, what incredible results this man can deliver. While we have to survive a bunch of hills here in the peloton, and towards that flat section, just have to make sure that we have a team present to lead out either Paul Fietske or Noah Isidore or Christoph Kroll, but the statistics are not in our favor today. So let's see what the result will be as we end up here now 8 kilometers before the finish line. You see the mountains have done their job. We are pushing on here with the team. Again, Paul Fietske as the last man in this sprint train. It is a German race. I'm hoping for him to get a good result here in these German races. He does deserve some good results here with 5 kilometers to go. 2 riders actually trying to jump away here, using a lot of energy. I'm trying to catch up back to these riders, making sure that we hold on here. Paul Fietske losing the wheel of Noah Isidore. What a terrible mistake here by our German rider. Not looking very, very good here for us today. 3 kilometers remaining, slowly getting towards that finish line and trying to tee up Paul Fietske for a final sprint, but we sprint a little bit late here with Paul Fietske just before the corner. 1 kilometer remaining, and we end up getting passed by so many riders here in this race. I guess we will get up or get a top 10 here for us in the end. Yes, a 9th place here by Paul Fietske, a 10th for Noah Isidore, but not really the result that I was hoping for, especially after that 2nd place by Paul Fietske and that 1st place by Noah Isidore. I was hoping for another top result here by the team. 2 riders in the top 10 is pretty okay, but not that podium place that we were aiming for here with Paul Fietske. Him losing the wheel of Noah Isidore disrupted that sprint train. We were looking relatively strong here towards the end. I would have liked 1 additional rider here to be with us, but sadly no chance for that as we used up most of our energy, and that means 2 riders here in the top 10 is the best result that we could deliver here today. You see a lot of these other riders also doing very, very well here, unexpectedly in my opinion. But that doesn't mean that we should be disappointed here. A 9th and 10th place for our 2 riders from our little Korean team is still a pretty good result here. It's just that after the previous 2 stages, we were hoping for a little bit more. Now let's move on to Portugal, where we will start off with a mountainous or hilly stage with a bit of cobbles, and then end up with 2 more hill or mountain stages. A very difficult race, a good test for our legs and for the mountain riders.
The race has cobbled sections that are renowned for testing both bikes and their riders. You've got to know what you're doing.
And I do hope that we know what we are doing here in this very mountainous terrain here today. Again, Noah Isidore seems to be the rider in form for us, winning a lot of races. He is also along with us here in this Portuguese race, where I'm trying to send out Jae-won Jun into the breakaway, because there are bonus seconds here at the relative beginning of this race. So I'm hoping for him to get into the breakaway, get some bonus seconds, tee him up maybe for a good result here in the general classification. That would be ideal here for us, while Jae-won Jun tries to sprint forward here and try to get people into the breakaway, but no one really seems to be excited to join him. And in the meantime, we'll just protect our riders in the peloton, I guess, while Jae-won Jun tries to sprint towards some additional bonus seconds in this race. And as you can see here, still alone a kilometer before the first bonus sprint. That means he does make it all the way towards that bonus sprint as first, gets those bonus seconds here. But no additional energy, or no energy left here for Jae-won Jun. And there are mountains and hills coming up, so we need to make sure that we recover as much energy here in the peloton. Heo actually sprinting to a 2nd place here in the points, so great job here by our 2 Korean riders, getting 5 bonus seconds here for the team. Great job here by them. And we end up 8 kilometers out before the finish line. No additional bonus seconds here for us, as we are starting our little mountain sprint train, I guess. It is an uphill finish, so I want to be in good position here. That is just after this hill here, when we have a little bit of descent, we can recover some energy and then tee up our mountain riders here to get a final sprint towards the finish line. You see Jaewon Jun, Baptiste Grégoire, and Noah Isidore ready for that final sprint. I'm assuming that Noah Isidore will be the main rider here to do that, as he has the best puncher skills of the team at the moment, but that means that we need to bring him towards that proper position here of the team. I'm still hoping for our young Italian rider to do a little bit better. Our mountain rider here that has promising statistics, but has not really shown them very well here in these races. So I'm hoping that he will do better, trying to put him on the tail of Noah Isidore. Less than a kilometer remaining now, and there's a bit of a cobble section just before the finish line. Sprinting now with both of our riders. Will Baptiste Grégoire and Noah Isidore do it? Noah Isidore getting actually loose from the peloton here with a mighty final sprint in this first stage of the Portuguese race. And once again, another victory here for Noah Isidore. Another second place for Baptiste Grégoire as well. Incredible result here by our riders. A little bit unexpected, to be honest. While I tried to sprint with the remainder of our riders towards as good of a result as possible. Another 1 and 2 here by the French combination here, by the French mountain duo. What a result here for our riders. Baptiste Grégoire really getting some steam here, really showing up in these stages at the moment. A bit disappointing in earlier stages, to be honest, but finally proving that he is able to perform on the highest level. A second place behind Noah Isidore, who once again wins another stage here in this episode. Really good job here by our French riders that are really showing up here in the team. And as you can see here, first and second place by the team. Great job here by them. Jaewon Jun also finishing in 17th position, all getting across the line at the same time, so no difference there in those statistics. The bonus seconds that Jaewon Jun got brings him forward all the way to 4th there, so great job here by them. Actually, Noah Isidore and Baptiste Grégoire got some seconds here on the remainder of the pack. So that really shows here in the general classification. A big lead now on the number 3 and the number 5 in this stage. Really good job. You see me looking at where did they get the difference, how did it work. They obviously got some bonus seconds at the finish line, but not enough to really make that big of a gap, and that's because of that mighty final sprint here by our riders, doing a fantastic job. Let's see if they can do the same here in the second stage.
The race has cobbled sections that are renowned for testing both bikes and their riders. You've got to know what you're doing.
Welcome to the second stage of this Portuguese race. Once again, plenty of cobbled sections apparently in this race. Very hilly, very mountainous. Noah Isidore and Baptiste Grégoire showing what they are capable of in the previous stage. So I'm hoping that we can do the same here today. Noah Isidore looking absolutely terrible statistics-wise though, so not hoping for him too much. Baptiste Grégoire looking much stronger actually today. So I'm hoping that he can continue his performance and really show that upwards line, that upwards momentum that he's currently having here in the team. Looking very strong today in this episode. So I'm very happy with him today. Looking very good. Finally proving why we signed him, why he is a good addition here to the team. Not just a support rider, but an actual rider that can get results as well. While we protect our riders here in the peloton, I'm not very excited to send someone in the breakaway. There are not a lot of bonus seconds here at the beginning of the stage, as you can see. And there's only 2 in between bonus sectors, one of them towards the end. So I'd much rather try to get the bonus seconds towards the end than try to have someone in the breakaway here and lose a lot of energy. And as you can see here, the breakaway is only 1 person, so I can do a little bit of a sprint here with our riders to try and get them towards that line to get those bonus seconds. Obviously, Noah Isidore as second place and Baptiste Grégoire as third. That means 2 bonus seconds for him and another one for our other French rider. 3 bonus seconds here for the team. A very good result here in this first in-between bonus sprint. Obviously don't want to lose too much energy here in doing these things, but we are looking so strong here in this race, and you can see the same thing here in this second in-between bonus sprint. We are towards the end. The breakaway got caught, and obviously there are plenty of bonus seconds then for us to get So I do a little bit of a sprint slash lead out here by our riders. Get an additional couple of bonus seconds here for the team. Why not? J1 June unable to really catch onto the wheel of Baptiste Grégoire, and that means that we at least get 5 additional bonus seconds here with the team as we end up here in the last 10 kilometers of this stage. Our lead out train is going. We want to make it difficult here for the peloton. You see actually a lot of our riders are already suffering quite a bit, which is a bit disappointing, but it's understandable. It is a very difficult race. It has been very tough here for our riders. We have pushed on quite a bit here, especially in this last part of the stage. We are not making it easy for the rest of the riders here in the peloton, for the riders behind, for the rest of our team, and we don't want to make it easy. We have very strong riders here in the team. We want to show what they are capable of. We want to get another victory here, maybe another 1 and 2 if possible. That would be incredible here with the team. Less than 5 kilometers remaining. We are in a bit of a downhill section, so that means that we can push on here with the team. Again, an uphill finish. It's looking like 3 kilometers left here on this mountain. That means that we can push on here, but it doesn't really seem like Carpentier is pushing on. He lets a bit of a gap towards the other riders. That means that we need to push forward here to try and get towards the front of this peloton. Not in a very good position here with the team. A lot of these riders have lost a lot of their energy, however, and I'm sprinting before the 1 kilometer mark, which might not be a very good idea here, but it seems that other riders have also not a lot of energy left. Noah Isidora looking very, very strong, but just runs out of energy before the line. Does he get a 3rd place at least here, or does he get across? No, a 5th place for Noah Isidora. No additional bonus seconds here on the line. Lost a bit too much energy here towards the finish line, and the rest of our riders getting across the line here as well. No additional podiums here for our riders. A 5th place here for Noah Isidora. 3 other riders also ending up in around the top 10 position. So we are still looking very, very strong. You see the bonus seconds that the other riders have gotten. Moves J1 June down 3 positions. Sad for him. But the remainder of our riders are still in a very good spot. Noah Isidora still in 1st. Baptiste Grégoire in 2nd with a 15-second gap towards Noah Isidora. The Spanish rider behind 5 seconds behind behind Baptiste Grégoire. So plenty of seconds to defend here for the team. We are looking very, very strong here. J1 June still in a good position. Also in this team, you see Florian Carpentier and the other riders of ours also moving up a good amount of positions. So I'm pretty happy here with the team. The Korean riders not doing super well here. Florian Carpentier here in 20th position. 4 riders in the top 20. And let's move on here towards its 3rd stage. A very, very difficult final stage here with massive hills, massive mountains. Again, Baptiste Grégoire being the #1 favorite of this race. Can he show his favorite role here, or will Noah Isidora win the general classification? We'll have to see.
It will be the climbers who have any chance of victory. Riding under such heat must be unbearable.
The heat is tough here for the riders, especially in this very mountainous section. That hill towards the end should be very, very difficult here for the team. But as long as we get across that hill, get into that downhill section, I don't think it should be too difficult for us. We need to make sure that we survive that uphill section first, get across the hill or the mountain basically as first, get into that breakaway, or get into that descent, make sure we push into that descent, hopefully leave as many people as behind as possible, and then get into a front position for that last little uphill section where we can sprint towards hopefully another victory, or hopefully another victory here in the general classification. We're looking very strong here with Noah Isidora and Baptiste Grégoire. Baptiste Grégoire with fantastic statistics today as well, so I'm really betting on him to do well here in this race. And I'm taking you here now towards that mountain where we are having so many difficulties to try and even hang on here in this race. Most of our team are very, very exhausted. You see the group thinning out. 37 riders remaining here in this front peloton. That just shows how difficult it is, and the group keeps diminishing more and more. The rider I am worried about, though, is Noah Isidora. You see our French rider here struggling on this mountain. He is not a true mountain rider. He's more of a hill rider, more of a puncher, so he's losing energy rather quickly. We're also out of water at the same time, so I want to get some water here for our riders. If I don't get water, the remainder of our riders will have so many difficulties to get across this hill. We still have 10 kilometers remaining to the top of this hill, so there's not much of a chance here if we don't get a little bit of water here for the team. You see Noah Isidora, I'm trying to sacrificing is not the real word, the best word for it here, but I think it is the right one here, trying to sacrifice his energy at least to get some water here for our riders. You see Jaewon-jun waiting here for our French rider, still trying to cycle on, make it difficult for any riders near him, trying to make sure that Noah Isidora can get back on their wheel, but Noah Isidora is struggling so incredibly much. You see us lowering the energy more and more, trying to get Noah Isidora towards these riders to make sure that he gets some water towards our riders. But there is a group of around 5 to 6 riders up ahead. They are struggling as well. You see this mountain has been very, very difficult for everyone here. Still 6 kilometers remaining. Noah Isidora is having such a difficult time here in this race, trying to hold on here, trying to make sure that we stay in this group here with our rider, trying to support him as well as possible. In the end, our riders do get the water that they have or that they need, which is great for them. You see Noah Isidora's energy recovering almost immediately, almost getting to halfway of a red bar. That means that we can push on a little bit harder here on this hill. He is in third wheel. That means that this effort does not cost him as much energy as it does for the 2 riders in the front of this pack. There again are around 7 to 8 riders up front here that are trying to get away, trying to get as big of a gap towards Baptiste Grégoire and Noah Isidora as possible, while the top of this hill is coming closer and closer. 2 kilometers remaining here while we try and catch up more and more towards these riders up front. We are in a bit of a flatter section, so that means that we can push on even harder here in this flat section, trying to gain a little bit of energy with our riders, try to move forward here to try and catch up to some of these other riders. We do manage to catch 1 pack here. 2 more riders in front of us now, where Jaewon-jun is absolutely exhausted. Baptiste Grégoire pushing on now. He is looking so incredibly strong here today. Noah Isidora, I'm leaving him behind, but with a reason, and you'll see soon why as we get into the break or into this descent. There's still 3 riders ahead of us with around a minute remaining here, so it's a tricky scenario for him. Do I wait here with Baptiste Grégoire for Noah Isidora, or do I keep going? I do keep going, and the reason is Noah Isidora's downhill skills that he is showing off at the moment, descending full blast here in this hill or in this mountain. And look at the difference that he is making from being behind Baptiste Grégoire with a margin, now basically racing forward, trying to get towards the group that is in front. There are 2 riders 18 seconds in front of us, trying and get away. 2 other riders about a minute and a half in front of us as well. So there's plenty of catching up to do, but there is still plenty of mountain left in front of us, trying to get into that downhill section once more, pushing real hard here with Noah Isidora. The other riders having so many issues to try and even catch up or try to stay with him. As we skip towards the bottom of this mountain, you see the 2 riders in front of us has been caught up. 2 more riders in front of us, while I'm trying to push here with Jaewon-jun as well to try and lead them up here in this mountain. The other riders in or behind us, trying to make sure that they can follow as well as possible, trying to lead them towards the front. Still 30 seconds remaining towards that front group. They are our biggest risk here to losing the general classification, and that is not what I want here with a kilometer left to go. I try and sprint with everything that I have here. Baptiste Grégoire still with plenty of energy remaining, trying to sprint towards that finish line. 2 riders here finishing rather early, around the 30-second lead. Baptiste Grégoire getting across the finish line as third. That means he does get additional bonus seconds here, while Noah Isidora is struggling towards this finish line. Can he hold on towards that lead in the general classification here? A 3rd place here for Grégoire Baptiste in the stage. Jaewon-jun across the line is 12th, 15th here for Noah Isidora. What does that do for the general classification? A 3rd place for Baptiste Grégoire. Sadly, the other riders were too fast for him to move too much forward here in this hill, and that means no victory in the general classification. But honestly, a really good result here for the team. Kim Sung-bom also, you see here, moving up plenty of positions here. Other riders as well. I think, honestly, a very good job here by the team today in this very, very difficult tour. You see also a green jersey here for Noah Isidora. I've kind of skipped past the trophies here, but I should have showed that we won points here, the points jersey and the team classification as well. In the end, a 3rd place here for Baptiste Grégoire, a 6th place for Noah Isidora, and a 7th place for Jaewon-jun. Honestly, an incredible result here by the team in this very difficult tour. Let's move on to another 1.1 stage here at the Veenendaal. Veenendaal, very, very flat, a very fun Dutch stage. Let's see how we will do here with the sprinters.
It's a difficult race with several cobbled sections. The bikes will be severely tested.
A cobbled race here, very, very flat. However, you see some hills here and there, but it shouldn't be too difficult here for our sprinters, who are looking incredibly strong today. All of the positive statistics except for KoRail, who once again has some negative statistics here, but that shouldn't be too big of a negative impact for him. You see here the statistics are mostly on his downhill sections, which is honestly totally fine. There is a negative stat to be impacted in this flat race, then the downhill stats is not a bad one to be impacted here for KoRail. So we'll defend our riders here in the peloton, not being part of the breakaway. Obviously, I don't think the breakaway will make it to the end once again. So we'll sit in the peloton, protect our riders here with succesfull, the third place rider of last year, hoping for him to get a good result here in the Dutch race in Veenendaal. Veenendaal, you see here two of the Jumbo-Visma riders already pushing on to the peloton as well. We have our sprint train going as well. Don't want to exhaust our riders too quickly. A little bit of a breakaway still away for some reason. They're being very successful in staying away, being very stubborn in staying away as well. But we have our riders in front as well, pushing as hard as we can. 5 kilometers remaining here for the front group. 5 kilometers remaining here for us as well. The gap is slowly but surely closing down here with our riders. We are losing the wheel here of our riders, however, which is not very good. 3 kilometers remaining, still 17 seconds here for the front rider. He is looking very, very strong, and we're trying to push everything out of our toes to make sure that we get towards the front of this race, towards this last rider here who's still 20 seconds away from the main peloton. 1 kilometer remaining here for our riders. We try and sprint with everything that we got. We sprint way too late here in this Dutch race, in this 1.1 race. Much too late. We should have sprinted before the corner to get in the best position as possible, but that means we only get an 8th or 9th and 10th position even, not even an 8th and 9th and 10th position. 2 riders in the top 10. A much worse performance than last year, where we got that podium position here. Sadly, no repeat here for us, no success here for us in this stage. And as you can see here, the rest of our riders finishing a little bit behind. No good result here for us. Hongji won the bottom of our team here in 100th position. Our team in a 2nd place as well. And yeah, we wanted to get that podium position. We wanted to maybe improve it even and get a better result, maybe a 1st or a 2nd. Obviously, we would love to win this tour, right, with our riders. I think we've had the riders to win it today, but sadly, a poor sprint from my end, making sure that we finish towards the back of the top 10. Now on to the Belgium 1.1 race here, another flat race with plenty of cobbled sections. You see all those cobbled sections there towards the end. It will be an incredibly difficult one. We're not even in the top 10 for this one, so we are hoping to upset the favorites here in this race, win this very difficult cobbled race. Maybe Paul Fietske will be our best bet. He does have the best cobble statistics in general, so let's see what we can do here in today's race here in the Antwoord Port Epic Sales Trophy.
Hello and welcome. It's a difficult race with several cobbled sections. The bikes will be severely tested. It is under a bright sun that today's race will be run.
The sun is bright and so are our statistics once again. Look at that, fantastic statistics for our entire team. Succesfull neutral, but honestly very happy with these statistics. The breakaway already forming up front. Once again, I don't think the breakaway will make it here in this tour. We will sit in the peloton, protect Paul Fietske, who is one of our main cobbled riders here in this race. Protect KoRail as well, who has been on a roll with these couple of stages in the past couple of episodes. Hoping for him to really perform in this episode as well here in these difficult 1.1 races, in these sprint races. Not the best result for our team in Veenendaal. Veenendaal in the previous race, as you saw. Hoping to correct that here in this race. And now we skip to 40 kilometers remaining, 27 riders here in the peloton. You see most of our riders absolutely exhausted. So where did that good premonition go of us getting a good result here in this race? 2 riders remaining in this front group. Paul Fietske trying to just hold on here while the peloton splits once again on these cobbled sections, trying to move him forward a little bit here to make sure that he is in a good position and doesn't or won't be in the back when the peloton breaks. Once again, Adrien Vial, the French rider, led out Paul Fietske as long as possible, but from here on out, it is just him trying to survive on the wheel here, trying to make sure that he doesn't lose this main peloton. Still chance for a decent result here, still chance for a top 10, but look at the energy here of our German rider, our cobble rider, just absolutely suffering here in this race. And we are in the section where it is cobbled section after cobbled section, one after the other, so it will be such a difficult time here for Paul Fietske to survive. You see, every time he just barely manages to survive a cobbled section, regain some energy here just in time for the next one, and then try and survive once again on this cobble section. So when we head towards the end, you already see most of the riders have finished here in this race. A 17th place here for Paul Fietske. Adrien Vial also sprinting here for a top position here. A 19th it seems to be here in the end for our French rider. The rest of our riders showing up a little bit further behind. The hope for a good result here in the Belgium cobbled race quickly gone here. 40 kilometers in front of the finish, already exhausted by our riders. No real chance to get a good result here. 2 riders in the top 20 is the best that we could do. I was hoping for more. I was betting on more, to be honest. And look at the riders also in front. These are not the least riders either. Although I have to say, not many are very well known in my knowledge. I don't know a lot of these riders here that are in front of Paul Fietske. You see me also checking them out. Curious who this rider, for example, is that I've never heard of before, having incredible cobblestone statistics, and I guess that is why they ended up in front. Their statistics on the cobbles just slightly too high here for our riders. It was the determining statistic here in this race, and that made sure that they got into that top 20 position here. On to the Mercantour Classic Alpes Maritimes, a very mountainous stage here for us, where we brought our entire mountain team once again, hoping for Baptiste Grégoire, who has been on a roll in this race, to perform here as well.
The strongest teams will certainly take hold of the race as soon as the road starts to rise, so as to help their climbers. We've got absolutely beautiful weather for this race.
And with race, I obviously mean the video. Him and Noé Isidore doing very, very well in this episode so far. Baptiste Grégoire and Noé Isidore are also part of this squad, as you can see, hoping for them to survive until that mountain stage, and hopefully we can do a bit of a lead-out train here for our mountain riders. The statistics not entirely in our favor. You see some minus statistics here for our riders. It's not looking super great, but we did bring our entire mountain team here, our entire A team here, hoping to get some good results here with the squad. Lots of mountains in between though, so no breakaway here for us. We just want to stick in the peloton, try to survive here until that final mountain section, which will be tricky and most difficult. Where we end up now is indeed that final mountain section. 13 kilometers remaining. Our main riders, our main hopes here in Noé Isidore. You see me here going towards them, and Baptiste Grégoire already fell off of the peloton. No chance for them here in this race. You see me moving forward here with Owen Cole, pushing on this peloton here in this race, making sure that we move forward here, but I'm trying to see if this is the right choice. Again, 10 kilometers still remaining in this race. We have an entire mountain to go. There's a bit of a green section there in the around the 70% mark, where I'm hoping to get in this race, hoping other riders will exhaust themselves, while our riders can just stick here in the wheels of these other riders, make sure that we cruise along here in this race. Plenty of other riders remaining, still 19 here in the peloton, and while we try and survive here in this very treacherous mountain section, going further and further uphill, trying to make sure that we do not exert too much energy here with the team. I was hoping for Paul Fietske to stay on the wheel a little bit longer here, but you see the yellow bar already run out here for our German rider, not looking too strong here in this very tricky mountain section. That means that Owen Cole is the fittest rider here in these mountains for us today. I don't want him to wait on Paul Fietske. There's no general classification and bonus seconds here to win for him. So I'm trying to send out Owen Cole here to try and reach this group once again. He does make it here towards his little peloton, trying to make sure that he sticks onto the wheel, but the riders in front are jumping away once again. I don't know where they're getting this energy from, as we are heading into that green section here in this race. It should be easier and easier for our riders, but it was just too difficult for us here today. That means we don't get another podium here for us. The mountain team, a little bit disappointing, honestly, here in this race. Trying to sprint a little bit early here with Owen Cole to try and get as good of a result as possible. Obviously wanted to get that top 10 position here, but ending up in 12th here with Owen Cole. A little bit of a sprint here with Paul Fietske as well to try and get as good of a position as possible. A 15th place here for him. Not really the result that we wanted. I was hoping more for Baptiste Grégoire, who is really showing today that he can do good results, but he ended up almost 12 minutes behind the number one. Owen Cole, 4 minutes behind the number one as well, so not really the race that we were hoping for. A little bit of a disappointing. Obviously, we are still not experienced enough in these mountains. We probably need to do a different tactic here. You see me looking at Paul César, who has an incredible season in real life at the moment, and is also looking very, very strong in this game, so I'm hoping maybe that I can sign this French talent, this French wonder for our team, as well as we have a bit of a French team. But a 12th and 15th position is the best that we can do. That means that we only have 2 additional victories here in today's episode, but those were mighty victories by Noah Isidore. Baptiste Grégoire also moving up here in the victories classification with 2 additional second places here for our rider, and some other great statistics here for him, showing that he can do a great job in these races as well. That moves him up immensely as well. Not on the level of Severi Savakovsky or any of our other top riders, but he moved past Jae-won Jun in 1 episode. So great job here by our French rider, Noah Isidore, increasing his lead on Paul Fietske more and more. You see their points slowly but surely going up, but still no chance here for Paul Fietske to gain on Noah Isidore. Owen Cole also doing a great job in today's episode, moving up a couple of positions, now in the 3rd in the points classification here of the team. So great job here today by our team. We are doing very well, good results, I think, much better than the previous episode, and I'm hoping to continue that in the next episode as well. Thank you guys very much for watching. That was it for today. I appreciate it, as always, that you guys watch these videos. Hopefully you enjoyed this. There were plenty of fun results, a lot of mountain races this time around, some flat races as well, some courses, some day stages. So it was a very varied episode, which hopefully was to your liking. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.